Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages, step right up. Yeah, that iced coffee's lasted me about 4 hours. It's good.
Okay.
Slow burn. I don't like to drink the coffee all at once. I
drink mine
like to milk it.
in like 30 minutes.
I like to milk it.
It just gets watered down.
So what do you want to talk about, Kayla?
Well, we are 3 days out from our show, so I kind of want to talk about that. And I think we could talk about the journey to get there.
Yeah.
Mentally and literally physically.
I know you said you wanted to talk about like kind of our time management and how we do that as parents.
Yeah.
How we split our time or
yeah, but I think even before that, it's like I was thinking about this earlier of how sometimes it's just not enough to have the knowledge and information. It's like before that, the preface to the knowledge and the information, you got to have the mindset, the habits, the confidence behind putting all that into place. Because I know for me, and you could probably attest to that, the last couple, maybe year or two, I feel like I've complained over and over about how I'm failing myself and my physical. I kept just starting and then I would give up and then I would start and then I would disappoint myself.
How so though? Like how were you? What were you?
Like I wasn't as regimented as I am right now, and this is how I should have been acting.
Well, so that's not that you should have been acting like that the whole time, but you got a clear, definite goal.
Right.
So then the steps to get to that goal became more clear and definite. So
that's true.
You kind of knew what you needed to do. Whereas if you have a roundabout goal, you have roundabout routine.
I think I just kept going back to my past self of how I have looked in the past and how I could look. And I don't want this to be all about looks, but I just know when I'm not showing up for myself. And then that would make me feel like I disappoint myself, not proud of myself, like I'm failing. And then the cycle would just start all over again. So I really wanted to be how I am now, but I just could never get there. So I think I had to, again, like a mindset shift, get a clear vision and a clear goal, and then the actions to that. So like we could talk about, oh, this is our day and our time all day long. But I think a lot of people do that. I think a lot of people sit down and they like plan things out and they're like, okay, I'm going to do this starting tomorrow, 6 a.m. I'm going to go to the workout, and they like kind of create a schedule for themselves, but then their their thoughts, their mindset doesn't back up the ability to put that action into place. If that makes sense.
Well, it's one day at a time. So
a lot of people don't feel that way.
A lot of people can do is what you can do within 24 hours. So if you're really getting anxious about tomorrow, well, there's nothing you can do about it yet. So you got to do what you can do about it today. So if you're saying, well, my diet, I'm going to really start honing in tomorrow. Well, it's like, well, then what can you do today? You're going to just eat like trash today. You're not helping yourself, you know? So I don't know. I guess, like I see people in the gym or whatever, and if they're just doing that to maintain, I think that's fine. But I think you got to be specific about what you want, So if you're just doing that to stay healthy and it clears your mind, clears your head, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's a good way to stay level headed. But like you said a long time ago, you were going to the gym and doing the same routine, same days, same lifts, same reps, same amount of weight. What is that? Okay, well, that's just maintaining, and that's not a bad thing either. But
I think I'm talking more so to the people that complained about their situation, but
like physically about their situation, like their physical self.
Any. Just because we're more versed in physical, I tend to lean more in that direction. But I think anything that you are not satisfied, there is a gap between where you want to be and where you are now. And you're constantly complaining in this area, yet not taking any steps or actions to get to that other side. That's kind of more so who I'm talking to.
So you've recently just bridged this gap.
Right. It feels so good.
There you go. So now, in my opinion,
I just wanted to stop being the person that would complain but never do anything about it.
Okay, so you're competing, right? So that was like a thing, you wanted to compete or you wanted to do that. But now there's a difference between competing and the difference between being a winner or a champion, you know? So you've put yourself in the stadium to be able to play. But now after you compete, now you can really kind of, not that you want to compare yourself to others, because comparison is the thief of joy, but you also want to know your competition. So if this is something that you seek to do for competition standpoint, it's like, yeah, it feels nice to be able to compete with some great athletes, but it also feels good to beat some really good athletes. So that's kind of my mindset. Was the first year going into it, you're like, yeah, but don't you want to win? And I'm like, no, because that's me setting myself up for failure. Like, do you want to go win this lacrosse game? You know, it's like, well, I don't even know the freaking rules. Well, okay, well, chances are that you're probably not going to beat somebody that's played the game before. So why don't you go into it with an open mind of, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to learn as much as I can, have fun with it. And then if I can kind of find a little niche and get a little flow, then I know how to dial it in, and then I'll, you know, be serious about your goals, be realistic about your goals. You know what I mean? Yeah, being honest with yourself is the most important thing you can do. Last year it was like, sure, I know I can go in there and compete with these guys. Now I've gone in there and competed. Now, what do I really need to work on, and how do I dial it in? If I want to be one of the best, what do I need to do?
Yeah.
Kind of, so.
Yeah. I was just like, if you're gonna go all in, just go all in. You're kind of like, meh. I was like,
yeah. So how do you feel about that now? Like reflecting on that, your mindset then for me versus your mindset now for you. Like,
well, I think our goals are a little different. Mine was really to get back into the habit of what I know I should be doing. It was a physical goal to come back out of my postpartum. And for me, it's honestly not about winning. I could honestly care less about winning. I've already told you multiple times, I'm already so proud of myself. If I had to go compete in an hour, I would be totally happy because I'm like so proud that I've stuck to it. I've shown up for myself. I haven't disappointed myself. Other people are starting to notice, that's a good feeling too. And people are like, whoa, like, what are they doing? But you're like not talking about it. You're just like a snake. You're like slithering through and you're there, but you're like not trying to appear as though you're there.
To me, there's like some sort of, there's a mystique to this thing that happens when you start like knowing how to change your body and dial it in. And like, there's always been a mystique to it of like, once you take your shirt off or whatever, you're just like, holy crap. Like, how,
you know, under there.
Yeah. So there's like some sort of like, how did you do that? Nobody cares until you have the results.
I have a really good Drake quote, and I know you don't like Drake, and maybe this isn't even his quote, but I saw that it was his quote. But it was, everybody will like you when you're working towards something, but they won't like when you have it. It's like, oh, you're still working on that? And then when it's like you got it, they're like, oh, well, she actually got that thing, or she did that thing. She looks that way, and she, it's like they'll like you as long as you're working towards something. But when you actually get it, they don't like it.
Yeah. They're haters.
So, but I think that is, the majority of people. It's like they all want to kind of get in this circle and they want to talk about what they want to do, but they simultaneously can complain instead of being like, why don't you hang around winners that are actually doing something instead of average people who are really never quite pushing the needle forward. It's like people want to have this group of people to vent and complain to because they're all doing it together. So it's like, yeah. I'm there too, and I can't do that either, and we suck. Or just be around winners and talk about winner shit.
I don't know. As far as the bodybuilding stuff is concerned, it's like an underground thing, or used to be way more underground. Now it's like more pop or like popular
or mainstream
for younger people to go to the gym and do these Olympic lifts. I see like younger people doing like, I don't know, whatever it is, like clean and jerk or overhead snatch, and like,
but are they doing it correctly?
Just, I don't even care. It's like they're doing Olympic lifts, and it's like,
how do you know how to do that?
Well, no, it's like, what's the purpose of it? Like, do you want to compete in the Olympics? Like, okay, well then let's work on it. But if you want to work on getting your legs bigger, well, let's try something that may not put you out of commission if you do it incorrectly.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I don't know. So there's a time and place for everything, but I think Olympic lifts have gotten popular. The heavy bench and all this stuff has gotten very mainstream and popular. And I guess that's good because you want people to be healthy. But I think what happens is people see, they correlate these guys that like are muscular and they think that like maybe all they do is do bench press or lift heavy weights. And it's like, it's a combination of all this stuff. You're getting your heart rate up, of messing with your caloric intake, of
Yeah, there's a lot of moving parts.
and also like people, like I said, are doing the same thing all the time. So I always tell people, like, if you've been doing the same thing all the time and there's nothing changing, then there has to be a variable that needs to change. Whether it's your style of workout, whether it's you're not doing enough cardio, maybe you could walk at night or in the morning, or uh maybe you could cut some carbs, maybe you could add some carbs. Like
Yeah,
there's so
just
much,
change one thing.
there's so much stuff that like if you've just been doing the same stuff over and over and it's not working, then we have to make just a slight adjustment.
Yeah.
Depending on where we want to go with things. But
what would you say yours? I think your slight adjustment is just adding in that walk.
Yeah, just a little bit of cardio, which is weird because like a few years ago I was walking all the time for work, like behind a really long bar, back and forth, and I was getting a ton of steps in, working a 6 to 8 hour shift, 20,000, 30,000 steps. And last few years I haven't had that, I don't think, as much. Well,
yeah, but you were also weren't eating as good. There's like there's like a switch. It's like you're trading the nutrition for the walking. You were at the bar, but you were eating bar food on your shift.
Fried food,
yeah. So now you don't have the walking and you have the healthy, and it's like you almost didn't change. Maybe it was a counter.
I feel like I've been like, everybody wants to use weight as a measurement of their success, and my weight has been about 175 for the last 5 or 6 years, just about. In between about,
I mean, fluctuates a little bit, yeah.
It does,
yeah.
But I would say about 175 is what I typically walk around at. But I've been 175 big and ripped. I've been 175 and fat. I've been, I've been 165 and shredded and lean, and
and then 165 scrawny.
Now I'm about 180 and a little bit heavier. So it's like,
you're gonna say something, but I feel like you were in your 160s when we lived in Colorado.
Yeah, I was about 163, 164. My aunt calls us. She's like, I know Kayla's having you on that diet. You've been on that diet. She said, you want me to bring you a Chipotle burrito? I was like, we just ate, but yes. Please bring up that
there was
burrito
nothing
home
in the house that was bad. And you shriveled up.
Burrito home. I was like, we already had dinner. I'll eat this whole thing. I was leaned out. You can
buy your own food.
I was leaned out.
Yeah, but I remember we have a picture, and your neck is so skinny, and you look like you're 50 years old.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. But anyway, going back to, I just reflect on all the clients and women I've helped, and immediately, until I kind of had this revelation of, you got to work on your mindset and all that. Before, it was just like, just do the work, and if you don't do the work, it doesn't work. But immediately I would just kick off with the knowledge and the information, like, okay, protein, carbs, fat. And majority of the women would work. They would follow it, and then they would get results. But I think also a majority needed the mindset shift before they could actually process this information and put it into actions, because they didn't have the habit stacking, the clear goal. It was just like, I just want to lose weight. It's like, okay, well, we got to set that clear vision, that clear goal. And so now, going back, I personally like to coach people more on habits and mindset and structure and time management, and where can we shift things around in your schedule to fit in the time for yourself. And then once you got all that down, then it's like, okay, and here's the correct information you can apply. Just the little things like how much to eat, what are you going to buy at the grocery store. But before that, you gotta set yourself up for success with your habits in your mindset.
I think like what you were saying, it's kind of almost easier to just slowly add those good habits on top of each other.
Yeah.
Like my good habit was just going to work at a certain time every day. And it's like, okay, I told myself after a while, all right, Tyler, you're going to work every day. You're doing a good job of going to work. You can show up and work a shift. Now, what else do you have to offer the world? Because that's what you have to do. Mm-hmm. You have to go to work. We all do. Stop complaining about going to work because we're all got to go to work. All right. Or that's just something we're going to do for real. So we're just going to say, we got to do that. So now what can we do outside of work? Okay, well, I can go to the gym in the morning time before I go to work so I can put myself in better health, better condition, better mindset. Makes me kind of eases the tension. I ride that runner's high throughout the rest of the day. So I get a workout, I can go to the gym, or I go to the gym, work. Okay, now what can I do outside of work? Okay, well, I probably have enough time to read a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe I can meal prep. Like these are some things that, and then at night, it's like, okay, maybe I can go for a little walk to kind of ease my mind, put my mind at rest. And those are all some things that I kind of did like, okay, I'll do this, I'll do this. And then eventually add just a couple more. The next morning, it's like, all right, after I've gone to the gym every day and gone to work now every time for 2 years, it's like,
you can add something else.
well, that's normal to me. So, right. So I know I go to the gym at a certain time every day. I sit in the parking lot at this certain time. Like, okay, now I'm going to add in, I can write in my phone for 10 minutes while I'm drinking my pre-workout before I go in. So I'm just adding 10 more minutes to my workout, or, 10 minutes isn't anything, or maybe it's a video or something. But so that's just another small habit.
Yeah, it's funny. I feel like when you're trying to introduce a new habit and there's a lot of resistance to it, it's not really flowy and doesn't easily fit into your schedule. It's like maybe it's not time to add that one in yet. I know I've done that where I'm like, I really want to do this. So I'm like, and I say I'm going to do it. And then every day I don't do it. I'm like, well, maybe it's just not time. Maybe I need a little bit, maybe I need to get the things I have down first.
Or a different season, like you said.
Yeah. Like at one point I was reading a ton. And then now I can't even imagine sitting down to read because it's just not working for my life right now. Right. But at one point I read a book a week, and it was like, during that season of my life, I was able to do that. So
yeah, you're growing that way.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to talk about the program we're working on? Let me backtrack. We're set it up as far as the picture I have is kind of like this is the picture I have, and it's from our vacation that we did. And up until this point, I had Tyson. He was, I don't know, 4 months old. Yeah, 4 months old. Up until this point, I was kind of stuck in the rut of like, okay, I'm going to the gym, working out, but I'm really not dedicated to my diet. I'm still kind of eating whatever I want. I mainly eat healthy, but I'm eating bad, something bad every day. Mm-hmm. So after this trip ended on July 15th. The whole weekend we had every single meal was a bad meal. It was like, I don't know, donuts, biscuits,
but however,
pizza, Mexican, ice cream. I did not have one single healthy meal. Everything was, to me, considered not good.
But I was on vacation and I had 2 beers the entire time. So that was a win for me. Yeah. I was like, you know what? Went out to a nice dinner. I think I had a beer and a half. And I was like.
But this symbolizes the day we got back is the day I started this whole transformation. Journey. That was July 16th. So it is now September 4th, not even 2 months. And I've made tons of progress mentally and physically. So I think our program is probably going to be 2 or 3 months, because I think 2 months is good, but maybe people need 3 months of accountability.
I always think 3 is the best.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were thinking 3, but I want to kind of just say a couple things about the program and kind of what I've set it up. And again, this is going back to, we need that foundation of setting up how to create new habits. So week 1, this is kind of what I wrote out. Week 1, foundation and mindset shift. So introduction, goal setting, mindset reframes. Week 2, self-awareness and self-care. Exploring core values, how they align with current life situations. Week 3, emotional intelligence and resilience, building that resilience. Week 4, goal setting and aligned actions. And again, so we have 4 more weeks, but again, there's nothing in there that's like, we're going to talk about protein. We're going to talk about carbs. I think first
So
it's like
kind of like what you were
clearing.
saying earlier is like those women didn't really connect with that stuff yet because they hadn't actually made the mind shift of this is what I'm choosing to do. I'm all in.
And then having the belief behind that they could do it, the
Right.
belief behind that they deserve it, the belief behind that they can attain it.
Let's start with that. That's, you kind of hit the nail on the head, I think. So that is what it is. It's the belief that it's possible, not even the belief that like I'm gonna go lose 50 pounds now. I'm gonna do this. It's like, no, it's like, do you have this little light bulb that goes off and this little feeling, that this little nudge that's like, you could do it. You could do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like that's that positive self-talk. If you have that, you're on the right track of like, no, you can do it. Like, and then that little, why not? Why not? Why can't you do it? You know what I mean? And that's kind of what feeds that, I think. What I was trying to say. Oh, okay. So yeah, the belief, the mindset, that's kind of what maybe got me on stage. Was one of the trainers at Crunch came up to me with the thing, here, I think you would do good at this. It's here in town. I'm like, cool, are you gonna be there? Yeah, I'll be there. I'm like, sweet. Turns out he wasn't there. But I was like, hey, I'm gonna give this a go. I've kept myself in good shape. I believe that I'm one of the more fit guys around. I've been in every gym here, so I'm gonna give it a go. I believe it was possible. You know, I'm like, sure. Instead of, I would say 98, 99% of the people that I meet or that are even athletes or that are even, I look at them and I say, you have the potential to do this.
They say, oh, I can never do that.
That girl, man, she's shredded, or this, whatever it is, they compare themselves to that person. And it's like,
oh, yeah.
You're like, you don't even know that person. You're seeing some video of some girl online, like, she's all tanned up. She's as good as she's ever going to look.
And then you look at yourself in the mirror like, I don't look like that right now. But it's like, you could look like that. At one point, that person didn't look like that either.
Right. But it's that belief where that nudge that's telling you, dude, you could do that.
Yeah.
Or if you really get honest with yourself, like, okay, well, I could, but what do I got to do?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I should probably put this bottle down, or I should probably.
That first starts with your thinking, because your life is always moving in the direction of what you think about the most. So if every day you wake up and you're like, I can never look like that, I can never look like that, I've never looked like that, I've never looked like that, and you're never going to look like that.
Reaffirming.
Yeah, you're reaffirming. You have created that pathway in your mind, your neurological pathways, that you are not that.
So I feel like one of the big things I've done recently, and this picture kind of represents different things for us, but for me, right before we went, I turned off my Instagram and my Facebook on my phone, those apps on my phone, and I've been tuned in to us since then. And I'm not comparing myself to other people, or like, I'm really kind of locked into what I got going on, and it's fulfilled me because I don't know, I don't care what everybody else has got going on. It's like, I'm in my own lane.
Yeah.
I got my art going, I got this fitness going, got our family going, like, got our programs about to roll out. So I don't know, I don't have time to pay attention to what everybody else has got going on, to be honest.
Yeah. I've gotten on it a couple times to do our posts, but I don't scroll. I haven't scrolled in a really long time, where, like, been in that comparison mindset of like, well, look at her. She, I'm not there, so I suck. You can always find someone to compare yourself to.
Yeah. Everybody has got something that you want, just about, if you really think about it.
Everyone has someone they looked at and say, I don't have that. And then that person also simultaneously has people they look at and says, oh, I don't have that either. So that's felt really good. It's felt really good to get out of that habit. I think it's also like, what can I accomplish without social media?
Yeah, you're just living in the real world now.
My belief in my mindset was like, oh, you have to be always showing yourself to get anywhere. So it's like, all right, I'm going to dismantle this belief, and I want to do stuff without social media.
Well, this is what we were just talking about, is like, it's like getting a pump with the long sleeve shirt on. It's like you gotta get that pump first, then take the shirt off. Then it's like, oh shit, okay, just give them the goods all at once. For real, you got to work in the dark. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna post on my Strava every day that, hey, I just ran 10 miles. Hey, I just ran 10 miles. Hey, I just ran 10 miles. Like, nobody cares about that. But if you go out and run a kick-ass marathon, or you go out and run a ultra, then people are gonna be like, what the fuck? What were you like? You just crushing it. It's like, yeah. Well, I'm
That's a good plug
working.
for a book that I read that's really good called Winning in the Dark.
Yeah,
it's a good
there you
one.
go.
It's a good book. So that's what we've been doing. I even was texting a friend. We've been trying to get together for months, and she probably knows a lot about me just from social media, just from me posting. Like, she knows what I'm up to. And anyway, we haven't talked in a long time, and I'm not on social media. So I was like, hey, let's do something next week. Like, Tyler and I are doing a fitness competition. And then I sent her a picture of myself, how I look. She was like, what the hell? She's like, whoa. And so, yeah, it's just like, yeah, that's what I've been doing. What have you been doing?
Yeah.
So, anyways, so yeah, we're excited about that. I just want to help people. I think it's just become I don't know, for me in my own life as well, in other situations or people that I've talked to recently, it just seems to be a common theme of they just cannot get unstuck from the situation that they're in. And it's like, why can no one get unstuck? So I know I was there for a long time. I finally feel better. I did it in about 8 weeks. I think maybe 12 weeks is a little bit better for people. It's going to be for singles, for couples. Yeah. And we're just going to, let me read what the purpose of it is. It's this program is designed to gradually build momentum, helping people shift their mindset, establish empowering habits, and take aligned actions to transform their lives. That's what we be doing.
There we go. Easy peasy.
Stay tuned for that, because it'll be starting in October. We got to get some stuff out of the way before we add new stuff. We got to move and we got to get married, and then we can start going all in with our people. So
it's always going to be something.
Yeah. So, yeah, on that note, do you want to talk about kind of what we have been doing?
What have we been doing?
Just like how we've been setting up our days to be successful.
Sort.
Because I just think a lot of people are like, I don't have time, blah, blah, blah.
So, I work early in the morning, a few days a week.
What time is early?
It's early for me. Maybe
it is early.
Maybe not to some.
It's early for a lot of people.
I wake up at 4 a.m. It's been Tuesday, Thursday for a long time. And at the gym, open the gym, get it all set up, TV's on, everything by hopefully 4:30. Got a couple crazies that like to get there early, warm up. They're my
Good
people.
Crazies.
They're my people, though. It's like, if you're crazy enough to show up to work out at a gym at 5 in the morning, I guess I'm crazy enough to open the door for you. Some crazy person's got to let you in. Anyway, so do that a few days a week. Sometimes I stay after and do the class. Then what else? Then a few of the other days that I'm not up early, you go to the gym.
Yeah. So basically,
we flip flop.
Kind of the layout is Tyson usually wakes up around 7:38. So my goal, since it used to be Tuesday, Thursdays, now it's Monday, Thursdays, 2 days a week, you wake up and you're gone. So you're basically gone for the whole morning. So those days I sleep in. The other days that you are here, I make it a point to wake up early. I wake up about 5:15. I come in here, do my morning routine with my greens and my detox tea and my fizz. And then I pump. I have to pump my breasts I make my milk for 15, 20 minutes because for one, I need it for when Tyson wakes up. And then 2, I can't go work out with huge freaking milkers, basically.
Can you say that? We're going to get platformed.
So I do that and then I go work out. And I'm usually at the gym by 6 or 6:30. I do an hour workout. That's about the time Tyson is waking up. I come home and he's either awake and you've gotten him or he's not awake yet. And then I have him mainly the rest of the day. And then you go do your thing. So yeah, we flip flop of like 2 days a week. You kind of wake up and you go do your thing. whatever you got to do. And
then
then,
Saturdays, typically we go to Scorch where I work, and we usually do a group class
yeah.
together, or we try.
Or,
Usually she watches him either the first half of the class or the first class, and then I come out and then she does the second class, or vice versa. We try to do what we can.
Yeah, then Monday, Wednesdays, I have to go into an office from like 9 to 2. So like I have to be up, worked out, come back, get ready, eat, take care of Tyson, all that before 9 a.m. And then you watch him, and then I come home and then watch him the rest of the night, and then you go do your thing. And that's Monday, Wednesdays.
Some days she cooks breakfast whenever I'm gone, and I cook breakfast when she's gone. So when she comes in, sometimes I have breakfast cooked, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So we're doing good on that.
But I think what you're hearing is two people who equally know how important it is for each other.
breakfast. Oh, just kidding.
You know how important it is for me to work out, and I know how important it is for you to work out. We
It's a
help each other eat as clean as possible. We help each other be the best version of
You
themselves.
definitely helped me with that. I don't know if I've been such a good influence on you at times, but
with food or everything.
probably anything.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to say, like, if you are right now are
I'll be a better influence to you.
if you right now are saying, well, I can't do that because I do everything for the family or whatever, it's like your partner needs to know that by supporting you, by allowing you the time to take care of yourself, you are just going to be a better partner and mother and whatever for the family. So it's like, I think we equally know that. Like, I know that you need that time. You know that I need that time. So that's why we're doing so good, not only individually, but
And to be
as a couple.
To be honest with you, since I've allowed you that space, and I knew early on when we got together that you were the type of person that instead of being directed or told what to do, you needed some space to find yourself a little bit and find out what you loved and your passions, and to like, so I was going to allow you that space. And right now I still try to allow you the space, the time to do whatever it is that you need to do. And you going to the gym, working out, doing your cardio when he's asleep in the bedroom, you're running the stairs outside. It's like a lot of people would never. Okay, my mind's all over the place here, but before I would go to work, a lot of times I'd only have like an hour or two, and I'm like, a lot of times people will be like, "Well, I only have a couple hours." I'm like, "Dude, I get 2 hours.
I get 2 hours.
Yeah, I can work out for an hour, hour and a half, and shower quick." And so that's the mindset now you have. Okay, I got 20 minutes. I can hit some cardio for 20 minutes. Like, that's a different type of mentality. Whereas, I get 20 minutes to, it's
I'm
like,
just gonna scroll. I'm just gonna
or whatever it is, but you're trying to be as productive as you can be. And as a man, as a male, to see you have had our child, I told you I love you in all forms, shapes, sizes. Not that you've ever been a different size, because you've always looked fairly the same. But yeah, as you've had our son and now you're transforming and you've changed your body, it's like an attractive thing. Because not that I didn't love you when you had Tyson, I loved you then, I love you now, but it's an attractive thing to see you look good. So as a man, it's like, wow, I'm like,
so as a man, do you think it's
sexy,
more
it's attractive
to see the work putting in towards it?
That's what I'm attracted to as a man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
a woman can look good or a woman can whatever, but for me, a woman is attractive when she has a good attitude and she has a good work ethic. Everything else can like fall to the side. Like, you can be the most beautiful woman, you have a bad attitude or you treat people poorly, it's like, I don't really have time for you at all, because the world is full of that shit. So the world needs more pretty, nice people, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. So you're saying, so say I looked, okay, two different scenarios here, Kayla and Kayla, but they both look amazing. But one way is me, how I am now, where I'm like eating healthy, working out, getting up early, doing routine, having healthy habits. Or another way is me smoking cigarettes, not eating, anorexic, bad habits, sleeping in, but I look good. So you're saying a man will always.
The thing is you think you would look good, but to me, I can tell the difference. The average person might not be able to tell the difference, but when I see a girl that's even slender, or whatever. Like some typical guy might be like, oh, that girl looks good. I'm like, girl needs to probably like turn it up a notch. Like,
you can tell.
I can tell. Yeah, I'm an athlete. I'm an athletic.
I'm just trying to get to the point of you are more attracted to the work ethic habits and the mindset as opposed to just the actual physical outcome that you are looking at.
Yeah.
Okay. So you think most men are like that, or you think not so much?
Maybe not. Like, I'm an athletic person, so I like to see athleticism. So that's just like a big turn on for me. Yeah. It's an attractive thing. But not only is it's like a cool thing to see a cool physique, to see cool athleticism, to see someone make an amazing play. Like, I've just been into that stuff since I was young. Like, sure, follow teams, that's cool. Like, I like that team, whatever. But if a guy from another team makes an awesome play, I'm like, dang, that was sweet. Like, yeah. I'm just a fan of athleticism.
I'm a fan. She a fan.
I'm a fan of athleticism. And yeah, so I would say that a girl that is in good shape but doesn't take care of herself and doesn't have healthy habits, it's unattractive to me. Mm-hmm. Like, I would rather see a girl that isn't in great shape, that likes to go to the gym and has a good personality, versus some girl who knows she's good looking and doesn't do anything to further better herself. Like,
so true. Yeah.
Like, just like, it doesn't matter who you are, try to better yourself, you know? Like, I mean, or if you're good looking and you have it all, then give, you know?
So true. I feel the same about guys.
Yeah.
I feel the same. There's always, I don't really have a type, but I can say the one thing that a guy has to be doing in the past that I've, like, my track record of who I've dated is like, they've always all worked out or like taking care of themselves physically. Now, personality wise, emotionally,
we're all different.
Not so much, or they've kind of been assholes. But you got the whole package, babe. Thanks, so you got the whole package.
It's hard to be a man these days sometimes. Yeah, you know, like, you have to be you have to be stern, but you can't be too aggressive. You have to be understanding. It's like, I had to learn a lot of that stuff being a bartender, because, like, first off, you have girls that drink that get emotional. So you have to, like,
navigate that.
For real. And if there's a big group of girls, oh, watch out. So it's like, or old men, you got like old drunk men, like, it can be the worst. Like, there's nothing worse than a guy in his 60s that's just like on some fireball, that's been in the sun all day. It's like, you know, and then you have to navigate how to handle that situation without, first off, flipping a lid. You know, you don't want anybody to get hurt, or so it's and then, like, another thing, like, working with people that are intoxicated or behind the bar, it's you have to be quick-witted. People make fun of you or try to put you down for having muscles, or okay, musclehead, or okay, you know, just whatever.
So many different personalities.
Yeah. So you have to let it roll off your back and understand that these people don't know you. And so you have to be quick-witted, you have to be lighthearted. So those are things that I've had to learn how to do a little bit.
I just have to say, you look so good without your beard. I'm just sitting here looking at you, and I'm like, wow.
Looking at me when I came home, and you were unsure about it.
I was, but now it's
how long?
Growing on me.
A couple weeks?
No pun intended. A couple of weeks, yeah. But I'm just like, you look good right now.
Just shut this thing off.
You do.
Just didn't know me.
I just didn't know it was underneath.
Starting to get to know me finally.
Okay. Anything else you want to say? I think we've kind of talked about how we're kind of our time management. But again, I think that our time management and our structure is so good because we both equally know how important it is for the other person to do it. So yeah.
I think we're both closing in on 10,000 hours plus of the fitness, which nutrition,
makes expert.
I think that's what we enjoy, and that's what we've done. That's what we're here to do. And yeah. Gotta keep it up.
Gotta be keep up positive, inspiring, people in the community and then show others what's possible and not let other people make excuses, because we could make all the excuses in the world right now.
Go ahead and set your ovens to 350 and put that chicken in, and let's get that white rice cooking. And yeah, let's get it rolling here. Get the asparagus going,
I will
spinach.
say,
And
I love eating healthy. I crave healthy food, but when you're doing a fitness competition, the last couple of weeks are kind of just miserable because you are eating the same meal every meal, basically.
we went on a picnic, and I had my bender, and I had my box of cookies.
That was like cookies. It was organic oatmeal bites.
Oh man, they were so good. I've been thinking about them for 2 or 3 days, and it's like
I'll have to go back and get
I
some.
got like a little bloated, It's
Yeah.
like I haven't had that bloated feeling in a long time because I've been eating so good. So when I ate like the box of cookies, I'm like, oh yeah, there it is, my old friend, the old miserable friend here.
It's coming out.
Oh god.
All right, babe. Well, that was good.
It was good.
We shall see the results in 3 days, guys.
We should bet a box of cookies on it.
What, me and you?
Yeah.
Like, what is our bet, you think?
Whoever gets highest place rank. You're in 2 classes. I'm in 2 classes.
Yeah.
Overall, whoever gets the highest.
What's so funny is when I have told a couple of people, Ty and I are doing a fitness competition. They think we're competing against each other in some way.
Kick her ass.
Like, I'm like, no, we're not competing against each other. They're like,
so funny.
I don't know. It's just funny. I can't remember what they say, but they're like, oh, what are you guys?
Yeah, what are you competing in?
What are you guys doing? And it's like, no, it's like individual.
I'm playing a giant game of tug of war. If you guys want to be there, it's $50 to get in the door. What the heck?
Just us two pulling the rope.
That was the thing. Last year, I told a bunch of people, like, yeah, if you guys want to come, I'll be $50. I think it's so expensive. I'm like, well, because I've been bulking for 9 months. Duh. Shit. I spent $4,000 on protein this year alone.
We do. I after this, I'm not buying protein for a little bit because we have spent so much money.
We just have to get the cheaper stuff or something.
No, I've had the same response from people. Like, someone said that they were going to go last year. They're like, well, is it the same price as last year? Because, I was hoping it'd be a little bit more reasonable. And I was like, yeah, but both of us are doing it. So it's really only like 25 a piece.
Yeah, that's true. I like that.
So I was like, well, last year it was just Tyler. So now there's 2 of us. So, come support.
It's awesome. It's, I don't even know if it's my cup of tea. I think the gym is my cup of tea, but
the competitions aren't your cup of tea?
It's fun to get dialed in to see what you can bring it to, like to get really dialed in. So it gives you that date of like, I got to have my shit on point by this day. So this is what we got to do. It's go time this day, no matter what. Like, that's what we got to do. Yeah. And it's contagious though. Yeah. Like I was telling you last year when I was getting ready for my show, this guy Joel was like, man, Tyler, he's like, you got me inspired. He's like, you were all pumped up last year, all happy. He's like, so I did my first show in April and he did really well. And so he'll probably do another one. I said, they got you hooked, huh? He said, yeah.
It's because people want to hang around winners.
He's told me that his daughter, so he's married, has a daughter. He says his daughter kind of caught the bug. Now she wants to run a marathon.
Cool.
So she got her fitness goal, and so now she's in there. Yeah, they're cool. Yeah. They're cool. So
I think that's a big reason that I do what I do, because it's like inadvertently you're inspiring others who may not even ever tell you that you inspired them, but just by being.
Have you ever gotten emotional at the gym? You ever gotten your feels while you work out?
Like what kind of way?
I don't know.
Like you're so happy to be at the
either
gym?
One. Happy, sad, mad. This guy's an idiot. Trying to break my heart. Yeah, right. It's like, is that how you are? He's like,
I think sometimes maybe I've been in a mood outside the gym and I'm like, I'm going to go to the gym and just work this off. But I don't think I've ever been in the gym and done that.
Cursing. Stupid idiot. Dumbass. Oh shoot! My dad.
Show him what he's missing out on. Let me get this.
Off. There you go. My dad's buddy. His name was Big John. They had 3 guys. My dad was the smallest one of all of them. They would train together. Then Big John was middle. He was like 6'2", 6'3", 200 something pounds. And then you had Jason, who was like 6'6", and he was a professional hockey player, and they all worked out together. And yeah, I don't know, small, medium, and large. But my dad's friend John, he'd be like, yell at me. I want you to call me names and stuff. He's like, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, I want you to like tell me I'm a pussy and like tell me I can't. My dad's like, okay, well, I don't want you yelling that at me when I'm lifting.
That's what he needed.
I want you to tell me like I'm doing a good job. And so it's like, come on, you pussy, get that shit up there. Come on, you know. It's like, yeah. Come on, yeah. Well, just like they're huge. These guys are, you know, those big old men with these mustaches. Like,
Would they need to be talked to like that? Is weird.
He's like,
I wonder what he asked me to talk to. And
they were probably all sorts of stuff. I know my dad. Weird. My dad told me that they were. I think they were all on gear. My dad wasn't. He said, so like I could hang with them in some of the lifts. And he's like, but then when it rolled around to being like Friday at the end of the week, he's like, I'm like done. And he's like, all right, we got legs. And he's like, fuck, I got to take the day off. Like, no, we're doing legs today.
All right.
Wrapping it up.
Yeah, here, little man waking up. So he let us do a full episode. So
bam. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. See you guys on the other side.